welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a question and answer session. You asked the questions, I answered. I had reached out over Instagram and YouTube and just put out there, hey, I'm going to be doing the Q&A. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. And a lot of you did. There are so many questions. So this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy video. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. So the first question I got was, how long have you been collecting? I have been collecting for years. I am now in my 30s, so I've been collecting for at least I'd say like 30-ish years, because I got some of my first Breyers when I was like super young. I remember in the holidays opening them up, especially if they were the paddock pal size. I don't know if they make those anymore. It's been forever since I've seen one, but I remember getting some of those. And then later on down the road, when TSC was carrying the traditional models, I did get a couple of those, and from there it just kind of went on. So here we are almost 30 some years later, and we have quite the herd. So one of the questions later on is how many horses do I have? So we'll get into that, but that'll be later on. Okay, next, stablemates or traditional? I am a traditional girl. I love my traditional models. However, I will not rule out stablemates, because I do have quite a collection of those as well, especially the Stablemate Club stablemates and the Best of Breyerfest stablemates. I do love those, and I do have those collected. And I do have some others that I got just as I was growing up and wanted every horse that I could get. So I do have some of those that I kept. All right, next. Tips for new collectors with a limited budget. So basically, if you have a limited budget, especially like I did growing up, you know, you get your allowance every week and you get money for the holidays and stuff. So, you know, before you get your first job, you're kind of limited on how many you can get. So I just went for like the cheaper models, the stablemates, the classics. Now, if I want to get some that are on the cheaper side, I do look at Facebook Marketplace, because a lot of the sellers on there just want to get rid of their horses and they will sell them for a cheaper price. So that's kind of what I recommend if you're on a more limited budget. Just look for the cheaper ones, and then just, you know, realize like later on at some point, you know, you'll be able to get more, you know, as things change within your life and your financial situation. So it's just, you know, it's just reaching out, seeing, going to like TSC around Christmas. They usually have some pretty good, cheap ones. Going to like Equus Now or Dover. You can sometimes find them for a pretty good price there. Checking online, looking at breyerhorses.com. And sometimes I know like newer collectors or younger collectors, they'll reach out and just want some that are played with, and you know, you can get those $10-20 off Facebook. So that's kind of my tips for you if you are a more limited budget collector. All right, how to get into the hobby and what is your favorite part? So basically, just getting into the hobby is just, you know, seeing other people that collected, seeing their herds, knowing where to shop, seeing the YouTube videos, realizing, oh, that's what I want to do. And it just kind of goes from there. It just kind of builds from there. So growing up, I had some models, but then as I started to get on Facebook, and then I started to get on YouTube, and I started to get on Instagram, and I saw people and their horses, I was like, I have to get into this too. And I have, and I don't look back, because this is something I really want now. And my favorite part is just meeting new friends, making the videos for you guys. So YouTube is really something that I've always enjoyed, and I've kind of wanted to do videos. Cinnamon Mew Mew, like, she was the one that kind of started me onto the video craze, and then she has since left YouTube. I don't know what happened to her, but I used to watch her videos over and over. She especially had this one Christmas video, and I forget what this song was called, but she had like her models singing and dancing to it, and I was like, I want to do that. So then I decided, hey, I'm going to start my own channel like now. So I started it it was either November or December. So we're coming up upon a year. So I'm pretty excited, and I've got some really loyal followers and people who love the videos. So I do really appreciate that. And I met some of you at Breyerfest. So yeah, going to Breyerfest, meeting everybody in person, doing the videos, being a collector, making new friends. I love it. The whole thing is just amazing. All right. What's your favorite content to make? My favorite content is, it's really hard because I really like everything that I do. So a lot of it's unboxing videos. I do love doing that because I love sharing my new models with you guys. And you guys have unboxed with me models that I didn't know what I was getting, like my surprise models, my Breyerfest models, my second chance models. Like, I did not open those boxes until I was with you guys. So we opened those together. So that's probably my favorite content. And then I was trying to think what else I've done. My Breyerfest content, my hauls. I do enjoy doing that as well. So those are my favorites. Okay. What's your best advice for getting into the hobby more and growing your collection? So like I mentioned earlier, just, you know, seeing what your sources are, you know, feeling out where you want to go with your collection, being able to buy the horses you want, and, asking around, seeing if other people maybe want to do trades. So there's a lot of ways to grow your hobby and your passion. And then if you go to Breyerfest, of course, you kind of get a feel for like the Clarion and all the models for sale there and what you might be looking for, and seeing the horses in person, because there are some that I have actually collected that I didn't think I would like at all, and then I saw them in person at Breyerfest and I was like, okay. So that's kind of just a tip on it, growing your collection. Okay, what's your dream Breyer color and mold? My dream Breyer would be a standing quarter horse of my horse Spartan. He is my everything. He's paint horse. He's got a couple of brown splotches. He's got blue eyes. So I would love to see Breyer bring him to life. I know they do a lot of like champion horses, which is fantastic. And I think you can eventually get portrait models done, but I know they're kind of pricey. And I also I believe Peter Stone kind of does that too. So, if Breyer can't bring Spartan to life one day, maybe Peter Stone can. Or I know I had one customized, which we'll show later because that'll be part of one of my favorite models in the collection. But I would just love to see him come to life. And I'm a sucker for paint horses. So really, if they did anything like new molds and they did paint horses, that'd be fantastic. All right. What was your first Breyer? So my first Breyer, I believe, was one of the Paddock Pow horses. It was a gray saddlebred, and then there was I think it was a quarter paint horse. And so those are probably two of my first ones, and then some stablemates that I had gotten, like the little thoroughbred molds and Arabian molds and stuff. So that was kind of cool. And then my first traditional, I had Smarty Jones, and I had Impress Me Shannon, and I'm sure there were others, I just can't think of them, but I really remember those two because they were two of the first ones I asked for at Christmas time when TSC was had a lot of their horses. What's your favorite Breyer mold? My favorite Breyer mold is either the Latigo mold, because I love that loping mold, or Salinero. I've always really liked that mold because it's a dressage horse and that's what I ride currently. And even before I started riding, I just fell in love with that mold and collected a lot of them. Now it's not a big conga or anything, but I do have my favorites. I have some customs. I've got Rubicon, so score on that one because it took me forever to get him. What's your favorite Breyer/Peter Stone in your collection? Glad you asked, because my favorite Breyer is my custom horse Spartan. So yeah, here he is. He's got the blue eyes like I mentioned earlier. And he's got the same color halter with the same color hardware as my real horse, Spartan. So I had to match him up. So very excited. And then, so I have another favorite, which is my Peter Stone. And that would be my girl Peep. Oh, I'm going to scoot her back. There we go. My girl Peep. I love Marshmallow Peeps. And Peter Stone one year at Easter did design a horse. And one of the design a horse colors was Marshmallow Peeps. So there we go. That's why this one's my favorite. And I just love food. And I love candy. Oh, and speaking of that, my other favorite Peter Stone mini model is Marshmallow. Marshmallow S'more. This is a s'mores horse. So it was I think it was like an Equilocity or something. I don't remember. But anyways, it was a collector model or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I had to get it because I love s'mores and I love Marshmallow Peeps. Now, if they'd make one for Reese Cups, I would be in heaven. So, there we go. All right. Let's see. What was the next part of that question? Okay. What's your least favorite Breyer mold? So, my least favorite is probably this mold. Not a huge fan. I only have 3 of them. I don't really like this color pattern either. This was one of my first Premier Club models, so I do have this one, but there's just something about it that just isn't growing on me. So I do apologize. My phone cut me off and let me know I had low storage. So as I was saying, this one just is not growing on me. So I don't know. It's just one that I just don't think I'm going to keep around. I might end up selling this one. Just not a huge fan. So I would have to say that's my least favorite in my collection. All right. What's your favorite Breyer regular run release that's on Breyer's website? I would have to say that is Full Moon Rising. When I went to Breyer Fest, I really wanted her. However, she was not in stock in the pop-up tent or the Breyer store, so I do have one on back order, so I should be getting it soon. At first they said it was going to be released mid-August. Now it's mid-September, so I don't really know when she's coming out, or well, coming to me, I guess I should say. And I do love the new fall models. I don't know if you've seen them yet or not, but make sure to go on, check them out, see what your thoughts are. It'd be kind of fun to do like a review of those and which ones you want, but that may be in a later video. So that's my favorite regular run. Okay. What's your favorite mold to conga, if any? My favorite mold to conga is the Latigo mold, which is the one my horse Spartan is on. Latigo came out as the first Premier Club model on that, and then of course I have Checkers, and I have Ashton, I think it was Ashton, and I have so many more. So maybe at some point I'll do an updated like conga mold of that, or conga video. Another one that I really enjoy collecting is the Croy pony. I do have quite a bit of those, and I just got Sparrow, so I just added her to my herd so I can do some like updated conga videos. All right. Oh, and I would like the conga Cancion. Yeah, Cancion, the new Premier Club model. If they come out with other colors on that mold, that would be kind of cool to get several of them. And I've got Cancion in gloss, so it'd be neat to have them all in gloss as well. Okay, do I collect any series like Halloween, Birds of Feather, etc.? I do have some Birds of the Feather series. I do have some Halloween models. I do have I forget, I don't know if there's like another line like that or not, but I don't have like a complete set of them. Now the Christmas horses, I do have a huge display of those because I get them year after year for Christmas, because they are just something I ask for every year because I got my first one in like 2007 or 2008, and I just continued to collect them after that. So that would be the series that I definitely collect. I would like to get more of the Halloween horses, but from what I see, they're kind of expensive and they're kind of hard to get out there. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. But I did get Spectre, as you saw in my last video. I got the rearing one from last year. Don't remember its name. And I got Apparition. I got that one. So I do have some. So what I could do as it gets closer to Halloween is maybe do like a Halloween collection video, or the traditional. They're all going to be traditional. I don't have any. Well, no, I take that back. I have 3 stable mates, so maybe we can do a video of that. So I just need to find everybody. And I have Twilight Terror. I have Bats in the Belfry. So yeah, I think I'll do that. That'd be kind of fun. Ooh, spooky Halloween. Okay. All right. What was your first model horse / Breyer? So like I mentioned earlier, I did get a few Breyer models when I was younger growing up. Stablemates, Paddock Pals, Impress Me Shannon, Smarty Jones. I'd always wanted Spirit and Rain when I was younger, but again, those were harder to get, so I didn't get those. But I do have them now. They're actually like out displayed somewhere behind some other horses because our house is like super small, so not everybody can be seen. They're out, but they can't be seen. So we have to fix that. How many Breyers do I own? I own at this point probably close to 300 because I've collected for so long and I've gotten new ones for quite a while. So at this point, anywhere from 300 to 330. So yeah, I've been collecting for a long time. So there is several of them all throughout the house. How do you display your Breyers in your home? So I display my Breyers like on the shelves, like you can kind of see back here, and you've seen my other videos. I have a bookshelf in our office full of Breyers. Almost every shelf but one is taken up. I have some wall shelves, and then I have some curio cabinets, and I have some like square cabinets as well, and a hutch, and they've just got horses everywhere on them. Now again, because our house is so small, I don't have everybody displayed, and some of them are out in containers, like out in our shed area. So eventually when we move to a bigger house, they will all get displayed. I was trying to think if I had anywhere else, but I don't think I do at the moment. But they're just kind of everywhere. To try to show you like how they're displayed would be really hard right now because they're just kind of on top of each other. And then I have like the shelving unit out in our living room, and I've got my box models, so I can't take out boxes yet because of being limited room. They're just kind of stacked on top of each other. They're kind of behind each other. They're under each other. So it's not well organized. It's kind of a mess. So I will get back to that at some point, maybe reorganize and then try to do like a collection tour. Okay. How many Breyer Fest have you attended? I have attended at least eight. 8, 9 at this point, I believe. I've attended so many. So I discovered my first Breyer Fest when I graduated high school. I remember seeing all about Breyer Fest. I didn't know what it was. I remember telling my parents, hey, I want to go to this. Okay, so I was cut off again by the full storage thing. So I hope we make it through the rest of this video because this is going to be pieced together. So, okay. So as I was saying, I remember seeing about Breyer Fest. So in 2008, I asked my parents if we could go. We got online. We bought the tickets. We went. And that was like my first Breyer Fest. And then I went, I believe it was 2009, 2010, 2011, 12. And then there were a couple years I missed like in between, and then I've gone every year since. So it's been quite a few Breyer Fests. Okay. Hang on just a sec. Okay. Do you own a horse? Yes, I own a paint horse named Spartan. The kind of riding I do dressage. I am a dressage rider. I really enjoy it. And do I participate in model horse shows? Yes. So right now I'm doing model horse photo shows because around where I live, there are not any live shows. So I have to do, you know, as they pop up online. I did do the Breyer Fest open show. I got a few placings. I didn't know much about it, so it was kind of a fail, but it was fun. It was a fun learning experience. The show is huge, so I'm hoping to maybe one day like travel to different shows, and just get, you know, a hands-on experience, learn like what to do well, what you do wrong, and just how to like photo, and just like how to show my horses and how to come up with documentation, because I don't know anything about that. I'm just like going by the whim and just hoping for the best. So that's so at least hopefully one day I will get into like a model horse showing like pretty consistently, but right now it hasn't happened. Okay. If you could keep one of your models, which would you keep and why? So again, it would be my horse Spartan. Now if we're talking the regular one and it can't be a custom, it would be my Rubicon, because I fought forever to get that one. I finally got one, so that makes me super happy. What is your favorite model and your favorite release on that mold? Again, favorite model would be Latigo, and the favorite release would be either Latigo or it would be Ashton. And then again, if we were talking Salinero, it would have to be my Rubicon. What's your least favorite mold, but your favorite color / pattern? My least favorite mold is the one I showed earlier, the one that Hwin is on. So it's kind of the Mustang mold, just not a huge fan. But my favorite pattern and color is got to be either Appaloosa or Paint Horse, because I love the colored horses and the different patterns that they come in. Okay. If you could pick any event model to have, what would it be and why? So it would have to be Salvino from the Ponies and Palm Trees event they just had, because it's on my favorite mold and because it's a dressage horse. Like, that is one I would just absolutely love to have in my collection, but right now they're like super expensive second market, so I'm just going to wait till they come down a little bit. But maybe next year at Breyer Fest I hope to find one. That would be amazing. And then the glossy horses from Breyer West, I think it was Chardonnay, if I said that right. I would love to have that pony in my herd as well. That would be pretty cool. Okay. Who is your favorite horse produced by Breyer? Favorite horse produced by Breyer would have to be, if we're talking real horses, I would have to say Secretariat, because he is such a legend. I do love him, and I'm super happy to have some of his model in my collection. And then HP Battlefield and Checkers, I fell in love with them at Breyer Fest. And then the new standard bred mold that they did, it was the white horse. I cannot remember, Via or something like that. I can't remember her name, but I did fall in love with her as well, because she was just beautiful in person, and her foal was just absolutely adorable. And then, let's see, I know there's some others. I got pictures of, oh, Adamak. Adamak, he was a really great model as well. So, I love meeting them, and love that Breyer did them. How did you start collecting? We kind of talked about that earlier. How many horses do you have in your collection? And what was your first ever Breyer? So we kind of hit on those earlier. Does anyone else in your family collect Breyer or Peterstone horses or other kinds of model horses? No. I am the only one in my family that got the horse bug. Third time I'm getting kicked off. So, as I was answering the question, no. Nobody else collects model horses in my household or in my family. I was the only one who was bitten by the horse bug. So, yeah, I am the only one. Okay. And if they don't, do they understand your collecting hobby, or do they give you a hard time or funny looks and say they're just toys or just a waste of money? By now, like, they're so used to my model horse craziness in my collection that I don't really get that. So I'm very thankful for that. And of course, they do always buy me horses for the holidays, like my birthday and Christmas. So I would say they're very supportive. A lot of times I know it's like, we don't know where she got this because none of us like horses or none of us ride horses, I guess I should say. So yeah, it was just like, just me. So I'm the only one who got bit by that. Okay. Favorite Premier Club horse? That would be Cancion or Latigo or a Desatado, who I still don't have, but it's on the list. Maybe Breyerfest, maybe Facebook Marketplace. Vintage models or new models? Definitely new models. I'm more of a new model collector. I kind of looked at vintage models and I'm like, not really my thing. Now I do have like one set of Clydesdale Mare and Foal they did from the Vintage Collector Club. So I did get those because, again, they were paint horses, so had to have, but that's like the only vintage model, like the only vintage models in my collection. How many horses do you have? Who's your favorite? Do you collect decorators? Who's the rarest? So I answered the first two questions already earlier in the video. Do I collect decorators? Yes. Yes, I do. Now I don't have very many, but I do, especially like the Halloween decorators. There's been... like, I've collected Washington, I've collected Sugar Maple, I've collected, it was on the Gopher mold, I forget what the horse's name is. So I do have some decorators in my herd. I definitely do not rule them out. Another decorator was the Smarty Jones red horse with a fire, who I named Ferrari, from Breyerfest a few years ago. It was one of the surprise horses. So I definitely like the collectors. I just don't have many, but would like to have more down the road for sure. Who's the rarest? My rarest Breyer is probably... well, I guess rarest horse in my collection would be my Peter Stone horse that I showed earlier, named Peep, and a couple of my other just like designer horses, just because I know that I'm the only one who has them and I have their colors and patterns and nobody else does. So if we're going for rare, I would say that Breyer rarities would be like my decorator I forget what the horse's name is, but Ansel came out, it was blue, and then the other one, it was I know it was the Peruvian Paso, and it was like the color shifting purple. I know that one was kind of like a rare, like limited run. So those are probably the rarities in my collection. Okay, and then the last question is best experience with your real horse and why. My best experience with my real horse was the day I brought him home. I have grown up, like I said, loving horses, wanting horses. Finally in 2016, I was able to get Spartan. Okay, so as I was saying, since 2016, or ever since I was younger, I wanted my own real horse. And in 2016, I was finally able to make that happen. My husband and I decided that, you know, we're in a good place to get one. So that's when I went and got Spartan. So I just remember seeing him for the first time, bringing him home, falling in love, doing a lease, and then owning him. So that was probably my favorite experience. And then going to shows with him. Our first show, we did place first and second. So I was like, okay, this could be a good partnership, and it is. So one of my next videos, I'll try to do a meet my horse Spartan, and I'll make sure that you guys get to know him, get to meet him, see who my model is made after. But that is it for our Q&A. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you love learning about me. If you want me to do another one of these, I certainly can. This was fun, getting to talk to you and introducing myself a bit more. And so with that being said, I will have this video posted, of course, today, which is Saturday. And then next week I will get a new video posted. Not quite sure what it's going to be yet. I'm still kind of thinking about that. I got some ideas, but we'll see. But in the meantime, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for subscribing. Bye.